and take a block and sit back on your heels today. So placing the block underneath your bum, sitting back on your heels. Rest your hands on your thighs. And gently tuck your chin and close your eyes just for the first few breaths. Just to let your weekend go. Drop your shoulders down. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth side out. One more time. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and side out. Now feel your lips breathing in and out only through your nose. Focusing on the inhales as your chest expands, your belly pops up, and then focusing on pushing the breath out. Slowly deflating your belly, noticing your chest fall. And gently open your eyes. Inhale, sweep both arms up to the sky, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, palms come to the heart center. One more time like that. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, palms to the heart center. Gently tuck your chin in. We'll start class with 1 Om. Exhaling all the air out. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Om. Dedicating this practice to something or someone who needs it more than you, or maybe dedicating itself to yourself, your health, your body, your mind. Gently open your eyes and roll forward to a tabletop. Coming to a tabletop, let's take a few cat-cows just to get that spine moving. Inhale as you arch your back, lift your tail up, gaze up, lifting your chin. Exhale as you pass the mat away, round your back, gaze at your belly button to spine, spine to the ceiling. 3 more like this. Move with your own breath. Exaggerate the movement, especially in your neck and your tail, noticing that they're part of the spine as well. Keeping those elbows as straight as you can. You don't have to lock them out. But keeping them as straight as you can. And then after your last round, go ahead and take your right leg back, drop the ball of the foot down, and move to the front and back of the mat, stretching out your calf muscle. Pick up that foot, take the right knee behind your left knee, and go ahead and take a cross-legged child's pose, sitting back between your heels and reaching those arms forward. Notice a stretch in your hips. And slowly come back up. Let's go over to the other side. Kick your left leg back. Drop the ball of the foot down. And go ahead and move to the front and back of the mat, stretching out that left calf muscle. You can allow your shoulders to move a little past your wrists as well, getting a little bit of the stretch there. Pick up that left foot, take the left knee behind your right knee, and start scooting back, sitting between your heels and reaching those arms forward like you're in a cross-legged child's pose. And slowly come back up. Go ahead and sit back on your heels one more time, this time without the block. You're going to rest your left hand on your left thigh. Use your right hand and pull that right knee up, stretching out your shin, that ankle, the front of the ankle. So pulling that knee up. Let me turn and face you guys. Left hand on left thigh, just resting it there, pulling the right knee up. Notice a nice deep stretch that you feel in the front of the right shin. Breathe into it. Drop it down. Let's go over to the other side, resting your right hand on your right thigh. Pull that left knee up. When you sit up tall, don't lean over. And slowly release. Roll forward, tap it out. And tuck your toes in, sit back on your heels with your toes tucked in. So you're stretching out the top of the feet, the bottom of the feet, which we rarely do. So let's distract ourselves with some eagle arms. So take your arms out as a T, right elbow under, left elbow over, taking 1 or 2 wraps of the arms. Lift your elbows up to the level of the shoulders and press it out. Inhale as you reach up towards the sky. Exhale as you curl in like seated cat, pressing your back to the back wall. Inhale, lift up, puff your heart out, reach your arms up. Exhale, go ahead and curl it in, rounding your back. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, round it out. And release, hands down, release the tops of your feet, and go ahead and tap your feet out. If you feel the need to release in the middle, go ahead and do that. We're going to do one more time with the arms on the other side. So tuck your toes in, sit back on your heels one more time, reach your arms out as a T, and this time left elbow under, right elbow over, wrapping your arms once or twice. Reach your elbows out, lift them up to the level of your shoulders. And let's do those cat cows. Inhale as you reach your fingers up, puff your heart up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, round. And release. Plant your hands down one more time. Tap your feet out. Go ahead and take your knees wide. Soles of the feet touch. Child's pose. Big toes touch. Child's pose. Not soles of the feet. Big toes touch. Child's pose. Allowing your back to relax here. Getting a little bit of hip opening. Breathe. Next inhale, we're going to come forward to a cobra. So reach those arms out, lift your hips up, And then drop them down, lifting your heart up, cobra pose. Inhale as you peel your heart up. Go ahead, exhale, taking a tall cobra here. Exhale, go back to your child's pose. Inhale, slither forward. And take a cobra pose, lifting your heart up, noticing the hip flexor stretch. Exhale as you send your hips back to child's pose. Inhale, come back up, drop your hips, lift your heart, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, send it back, child's pose. You move a little bit dynamically at the beginning of the class. Go ahead and do one more cobra. This time stay here. Moving a little bit dynamically at the beginning of class because we haven't warmed up yet. Then we'll hold the static stretches at the end of class. Hold it here and breathe into those hip flexors, getting a little bit of back bend as well. The low cobras do a lot more to strengthen the back. And release all the way down to the mat. Wiggle your hips out. Elbows come underneath your shoulders now. Coming into Sphinx pose. Drag your chest through between your forearms. Lifting your heart up and gazing forward so that your neck is neutral. Breathe. Where do you feel this stretch? You should feel it in your abdomen, even as your back is contracting. So this is a very gentle way to strengthen your back muscle. But if this bothers you, you can take your elbows out a little bit more because that way you'll be resting a little bit more on your belly. Go ahead and release. Now take your right elbow parallel to the front of the mat and reach your left hand back, grabbing a hold of your left foot for a quad stretch, Ardha Bekasana, half frog. Go ahead and bring that left heel all the way to your left bum. Breathe into that left quad muscle. Half frog pose, Ardha Bekasana. Propping yourself up on your right elbow. Release that foot. Let's change sides. Left forearm to the front of the mat. Reach your right hand back. Grab that foot and bring that foot close to your bum. Stretching out the right quad muscle here. Breathe into it. And release that foot. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Pick yourself up into a tabletop. Send your hips back and lift it up, downward facing dog pose. Bend your knees a lot. All of us bend our knees a lot, bringing our belly to our thighs. Go ahead and push the mat away with your hands like you're trying to flip the mat apart. Both knees are bent, belly to thighs. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, straighten those legs, drop your heels towards the ground. Inhale, bend your knees, belly to thighs, press the mat away. Exhale, lift your tailbone up, drop your heels towards the mat, straightening those legs. One more time, inhale, bend your knees, belly to thighs. Exhale, straighten, drop those heels down. Now start pedaling your legs out, bend one knee, maybe pausing on one side if one side is tighter than the other. Simply pedaling out those legs with your breath to get that stretch in your calf muscles. Downward facing dog is a great upper body strengthening pose. A lot of people cannot hold downward facing dog for a while. They can just hold it for a few breaths and then they take child's pose. It's also a good pose to stretch out your legs, especially the backs of your legs, activating the backs of your legs. On your next inhale, roll forward like a big wave walking to the shore. Roll forward to plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees to hover to the mat, send your hips all the way back like a hovering child's pose, and then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. I'm going to do this a few times, like a wave rolling forward to the shore and then receding back. Inhale, roll forward, plank pose, big lift of the hips, round your back, and then come to plank, strong plank, lift your head and neck up. Exhale, drop your knees to hover towards the mat, send your hips all the way back, and then lift it up, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, roll forward, plank pose. Exhale, ripple back, downward facing dog. Let's do this one last time. Inhale, roll forward, plank pose. Getting your spine to move. Exhale, rippling it back. Downward facing dog. Start walking your hands, inchworming it back towards your feet, one palm print at a time, towards the back of your mat. Then take ragdoll, folding at the back of your mat, swaying from side to side. The swaying from side to side always gets like my outer glutes, my outer hips, also my IT band a little bit. I don't know why. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then release your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, roll up to standing slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, roll your shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Drop your hands down to the mat. Keep your legs as straight as you can and start walking forward, inchworming it back to plank pose, coming to a strong plank. Hold it here, take a deep inhale. Exhale, drop your knees down, your chest, your chin, Ashtanga Pranayama. Untuck your toes. This time, let's take a baby cobra. Inhale, feel your heart up. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, feel your heart up. Look over your right shoulder. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, feel your heart up. Look over your left shoulder. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, come up to a tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips back and up, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale it out. One more deep inhale, try to find that stillness. Exhale it out. Last time, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale it out. Bend your knees a lot, look up to the top, step or walk to the front. Inhale, half lift. Slide your hands up your shin, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, stand up to upward salute, reaching your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart center. And down by your side. Take your hands behind your back, grabbing opposite elbows. We're going to do good mornings to stretch out those hamstrings. For good mornings, we stand up tall, tucking in our belly button, reaching the crown of the head up. And then we do a half fold, just like Ardha Uttanasana, coming to an L shape. Take a deep inhale as you stand up tall, root through your feet. Exhale, send your hips back and send the crown of the head forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold. Try to keep the spine as long as possible. Inhale, up. So don't round from your back to go down. That's why we have those arms behind us. Exhale, Ardha Uttanasana, reaching the crown of the head forward. One other thing that might help is to reach your heart forward. So don't look down, look forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, up. This time, interlace your fingers behind you. Exhale, go ahead and fold forward, belly to thighs. Allow those knuckles to fall overhead. One more time, just like you did in ragdoll, sway from side to side. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then release your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Exhale, roll your shoulder blades back and down. I'm going to do Surya Namaskara feet just to get those hip flexors and our hamstrings. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. We're going to do a modified version. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it all the way down, swan diving it down to the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to your shin as you reach the crown of the head forward. On the exhale, plant your hands down, take your left leg back into a long lunge. Drop your left knee down and come up to Anjaneyasana. Let's start with hands on our right knee. So interlace your fingers, hands on your right knee. You're going to use those fingers to pull the flesh away from your hip towards your knee, settling into your stretch a little bit more. Breathe into that left hip flexor. If you have blocks here, you can bring them to the party. I'm going to use blocks. Hands on your blocks. Breathe into that hip flexor. If you need a blanket underneath your left knee, you can do that as well. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Go ahead and straighten that right leg. Reach that heart forward and fold it down. We're going to flow from Anjaneyasana to Ardha Hanuman a few times and then hold an Ardha Hanuman at the end. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Reach your heart forward. Breathe into that left hip flexor. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Dig that heel and toes to the ceiling. Fold over that right leg. Breathe into the hamstring. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Drop your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, send your hips back, straighten your leg and fold. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, drop your hips, lift your heart up. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, send your hips back, straight spine, folds over that right leg. Last time, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Hold it here, breathe. Make sure you have the right heel digging into the mat, toes are pointed towards the ceiling. Imagine you're dragging a line of sand towards your face. Your right heel is not moving, but kind of that feeling of engaging the back of that leg, getting the hamstring stretched. Slowly come back up. Hands to the mat, take a deep inhale. Send it back to plank pose. Take a deep inhale in plank. Exhale, knees stretching. Inhale, untuck your toes, Mudra pose. Exhale, send your hips back and lift it up, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to a 3-legged dog. Exhale, step that left foot forward in between your hands. Drop the right knee down and come up for Anjaneyasana. Hands on your thighs. Sink your hips down, again using those fingers. Pull the flesh away from your hips towards your knees so that you can deepen the stretch on your right hip flexor. Try that and see if that deepens the stretch. Sinking your hips a little bit lower with each breath. But at the same time, imagine your ribs are corseted, so you're not flaring your back out like this and hurting your low back, but keeping it strong. Your core strong. Heart lifted. Breathing into your hip flexor. Hands on your blocks. Inhale, Anjaneyasana here on the left side. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Straighten your left leg, dig the left heel in and fold, straighten with a straight spine. Inhale, lift your heart up, drop your hips. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Reach your hips back and fold over that left leg, keeping that left heel digging in. Inhale. Drop your hips, lift your heart, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Send your hips back and fold over that front leg. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Dropping your hips, lifting your heart. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Digging your heels, folding over that leg. One more time. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Hold it here and breathe into that left hamstring. Dig that left heel in. Left toes are pointing up to the sky. Imagine you're drawing a line of sand towards your face with that left heel. Really engaging that back of that leg. Inhale, slowly come back up, planting your hands down. Exhale, take it back, plank pose. Take a deep inhale and plank. Exhale, knees chest chin. Untuck your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, send it back, lift it up, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale it out. Bend your knees a lot, look up to the top, step or walk to the front. Inhale, half, lift hands on chin, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, press your feet to come all the way up to standing, reaching your fingertips up this time. Exhale, palms to heart center and down by your side. One more time like this, we take it a little bit faster. We lead with the right leg this time. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, hinge and fold it down, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. On the exhale, plant your hands, take your right leg back into a long lunge, drop your right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach your fingertips up to the sky, maybe taking a slight back bend here. Exhale, plant your hands down, Ardha Hanuman, send your hips back, dig your heels, fold over that leg. Inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, take it back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, come back up, take it back to a plank pose, exhale. Take a deep inhale and plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, untuck your core, toes, cobra pose. Exhale, send your hips back, lift it up, downward facing dog pose. 3 deep breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press the mat away. Exhale, lift your tail up. Inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, lift your right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step that right leg between your hands, drop that left knee down, Anjaneyasana, reach up. Maybe taking a slight back bend. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, plant your hands down, send your hips back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. You can use blocks always underneath your hands. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. On the exhale, plant your hands down, take it back to plank pose. Take a deep inhale here in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Untuck your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Gently lifting your heart up. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down, child's pose. Breathing into those hips. Take those palms together in child's pose. And go ahead and walk your elbows forward, bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck, the back of your neck. Keep walking those elbows forward. Feel a good stretch all through the lats, your armpits, and your triceps. Breathe into it. Release those arms. Now take your right arm underneath your left armpit. Drop your right shoulder down, and then the right ear to the mat, reaching your left arm forward. You're taking a thread the needle pose in child's pose. Breathe. Where do you feel the stretch? So thoracic spine rotation. A good stretch for the right side of your upper back. And change sides, reaching that left arm forward. Thread the needle with your right arm underneath your left armpit. Sorry, left arm underneath your right armpit this time, sorry. And your left ear to the mat. Your palm is facing up. So your left palm is facing up. Pressing the left palm to allow yourself to twist deeper. So you're not pressing the left palm, you're pressing the back of the left hand because your palm is facing up. And slowly come up, release. Interlace your fingers behind you, come up onto your heels, interlace your fingers behind you. I'm going to take rabbit pose. I don't think you've done this before. So your knees are parallel to each other. Your legs are parallel to each other. Come up onto your knees. Actually sit back on your heels and drop the crown of the head to the mat and lift your hips up. So the goal is to bring your hips over your knees, allow your knuckles to fall overhead, and maybe one day allow those knuckles to fall all the way to the floor over your head. Breathe. Shashankasana, rabbit pose. If this bothers your neck, so just back off and go back to child's pose. And slowly come up. Release your arms. Take your arms forward, downward facing dog pose. Deep inhale and downward facing dog, allowing your breath to come back to normal. Bend your knees a lot, look up to the top, and then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, left foot to the outside of your left hand. Drop your hips down, coming into Malasana Yogi Squat. Elbows land inside your knees. You're going to push the knees apart with your elbows. At the same time, you're going to squeeze your elbows back in with your knees. Reach the heart up, gaze forward so that you're sitting up tall. If this is tough, you can always place a block underneath your bum. Go ahead and drop your bum to the mat. Feet are as wide as your mat. You're going to do some 90-90 hip swings. So fingertips behind you. Drop your knees from side to side. Reach your arms forward and maybe try doing that a little bit without support. This time, drop your left hand behind you as your knees drop to the left. Lift your hips up and reach your right arm up and over. Come back down. Drop both knees to the right. Right hand behind you. Lift your hips up. Reach your left arm up and over. Come back down. Swing back to the left. Left hand down. Right arm up. Reach up and over. Come back down. Swing your legs to the other side. Right hand down. Reach up and over with your left hand. And slowly release. Extend your legs forward for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. You can sit on a blanket or a block here if you want. And if you have your strap, you can use the strap as well. Taking the strap across the arch of your feet. Sit up tall. And if you need a blanket here to sit up tall, you can do that. Inhale as you reach the crown of the head up. Exhale, go ahead and fold forward, bringing your belly to your thighs, reaching your heart forward, keeping that spine long as far as you can, and then allowing your back to round. Breathe here. You can grab a hold of the strap or your feet or your big toes. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last deep breath. Exhale it out. Keep a hold of the strap or your legs. Inhale, lift up, look up, elongate your spine one more time. Exhale it out here, and then release. Janushirasana, bringing the sole of the left foot inside your right leg. Let's start with a twist. So taking the left fingers on the outside of your right leg, right fingers behind you, twisting from your belly button to look over your right shoulder. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, keeping that right foot digging in. Inhale, right heel. Exhale, right toes are pointing up. Inhale. Exhale, turn and face the front. Your belly button is now facing your right knee. You're digging your right heel in, keeping that right leg really active. Inhale as you reach your fingertips up to the sky. Use that strap if you need it. Exhale, fold it down. You can use the strap or grab a hold of your foot or your ankle or your shin. It doesn't matter. Deep inhale. Exhale it out. Where do you feel the stretch? Inhale. Maybe you feel it more in your left hip, less in your right hamstring. That's okay. Last deep inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, keep a hold of that leg, lift up, look up, elongate your spine first. Exhale it out. And then release. Lift that left knee up. Hug it into your chest. You're going to take Marichyasana. So, hugging that left knee with your right elbow, left fingertips behind you, twisting over to the left this time. Deep inhales and exhales. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And come back to the center. Extend your left leg out, sole of the right foot, inside your left leg. Left leg is active, toes are pointing to the sky. Take your right fingertips on the outside of your left leg, twisting again to the left, starting with the twist. Left fingers behind you, twisting from the belly button, sit up tall. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the center. Digging that left heel in. You can use your strap if you want. Inhale as you reach your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, fold over that left leg using a strap or grabbing a hold of your ankle, your shin, your foot. Breathe here. Inhale. Notice where you feel the stretch. Exhale. Inhale, keeping that left leg active. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up, look up, elongate your spine. Exhale it out. And then release. Taking Marichyasana on the other side, bringing that right knee in, hugging it in tight. Got to give you the other option is to bring the elbow on the outside of your knee. You can do that as well, but let's stick with this. Hugging your right knee with your left elbow, right fingertips behind you, twisting over to look over your right shoulder. Deep inhale here. Exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And come back to the center. Cross your ankles and roll forward, coming into a downward facing dog to set up for pigeon pose. So from downward facing dog, you're going to lift your right foot up and bring the right ankle to your left wrist, right knee to your right wrist, and extend the left leg back. If you need a block or a blanket underneath your right hip, you can do that. So your right leg is in front. Your right hip is probably lifted a little bit. So if you need a blanket underneath your right hip, you can do that. The goal is to keep your hips level so you're not like leaning over to the one side or the other. So I usually need a blanket. So look back behind you. Your left leg is one long tail shooting from your hip to the toes. Your ankle is not sickled. Let's take a proud pigeon first. So hands on your leg, right leg. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale it out. Allow your hips to relax here. Inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and fold over that shin, right shin. You can come all the way down to your forearms. Maybe make a fist, rest your forehead, or take a block and rest your forehead. Deep breaths here. You're simply going to allow your hips to relax, holding nothing, squeezing nothing, constricting nothing. Every few breaths, ask yourself, are you squeezing something? Are you holding back something? Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's your jaw. Release, relax everything down. Coming back to your breath. Don't let your mind wander, coming back to your body. Asking yourself if you're clenching anything, if you're squeezing anything. One more time, asking yourself to relax those hips down, your shoulders. And slowly come back up. Back to your proud pigeon as you inhale and open your heart up. And take it back to downward facing dog. Shake that leg out if you need to. Maybe making hip circles in downward facing dog with that right leg. And then drop that right foot down. Lift your left leg up and take it to a pigeon pose on the other side. Left ankle to right wrist. Left knee to left wrist. Look behind you to make sure your right leg is one long tail shooting from your hip. If you need that blanket underneath your left hip, like I do, go ahead and place that so that your hips are level. And let's take a proud pigeon first. Inhale, open your heart up. Exhale it out. One more time, deep inhale. Maybe hands on your legs or fingertips on the mat, it doesn't matter. Exhale, go ahead and fold it down. Again, gently asking yourself to relax and release your hips down. Relax your back, relax your shoulders, your jaw. Pigeon pose is one of those poses where we don't engage, we don't squeeze or constrict anything, and simply allow gravity to do the work. Typically in other yoga poses, in a non-yin yoga class, we would actually engage the muscles, like in Anjaneyasana. I always ask you to engage your core and drop your hips, squeeze your glutes. You're not doing any of that here, simply allowing yourself to relax. Turning your attention inward to your breath and your body. Maybe every few breaths you go back and check on yourself. Check if you're squeezing or engaging anything. It's quite normal for us, even when we are sitting at an office chair. Suddenly, if we are tense, we start engaging our glutes or start engaging or squeezing our shoulders, tightening our shoulders. So consciously asking ourselves to relax is it's kind of like a skill we need to develop. Slowly come up. Coming back to your proud pigeon for just one inhale. And then exhale, plant your hands down, take it back to downward facing dog and make any sort of movements you need to, maybe circling that hip out in both directions. And drop your knees, swing your legs forward. Let's come onto our back. Making those final supine poses before we end class. Bring your strap close by. And bring your block. It'll end in a supported bridge pose. So extend your right leg out. Extend your left leg out. Hug your right knee in. And go ahead and grab behind your right thigh. Extend the right leg. Bring your belly, tight your belly, and then extend the right leg up, bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend, and hold this time point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and hold it here. Use that strap if you need to in the arch of your foot. I'm going to hold that hamstring stretch for a few breaths. With each breath, see if you can straighten that knee a little bit more. Relax those shoulders down though. Don't reach up for the strap, but allow enough slack in your strap so that you can keep your shoulders down on the mat. With each exhale, see if you can allow that leg to fall a little bit more towards your face. So I was at the dentist last week, and she was telling me that she was using a Peloton, and the Peloton instructor, as she was doing her, I think it was a strength training or a weight session or something, the Peloton instructor suddenly asked her to take deep inhales and exhales, and her heart rate, she noticed, started going down by like 10 points or so. So she was saying, oh my God, I didn't realize that, you can bring your heart rate down that much just by breathing. So, this is for Venki because he keeps saying that his heart rate doesn't go up in yoga. Maybe it's because I keep asking you guys to breathe in and out. Maybe I should stop doing that so you guys can work up a good sweat and heart rate. Now take both ends of the strap in your left hand, reach your right arm out, and then twist that right leg over to the left, taking a supine twist assisted by the strap, gaze to your right. And then she was also telling me that she was at the hospital for one day, and then she has pretty good blood pressure usually. And then the nurse came in and checked her blood pressure and said, oh my God, you must be in a lot of pain because your blood pressure is really shot up. And she said, no, I'm fine. I'm not in any pain. And then she realized she just had a huge fight with her husband. So that really brought her blood pressure up. So, small things. So anytime like you go for to the doctor, we should make sure we don't fight. Slowly bring your leg back up and release the strap. Let's do the other side. Drop the strap down for the first few breaths. Extend your right leg out. Hug your left knee into your chest. Give it a tight squeeze. Grab behind your left thigh. Let's bend and extend. Belly to thigh. Extend, bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend, and hold it here. Let's point and flex. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and hold it here. You can allow your leg to peel up off your belly and use your strap if you want for your hamstring stretch. With each breath, taking that leg a little bit more and allowing that leg to fall towards your face, letting gravity help you there. Let's see what happened to your strap. Now take both ends of the strap in your right hand, reach your left arm out as a T, and twist that left leg over to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Spine curves with the strap. It's kind of fun at the dentist when you're just having like these one-sided conversations. Slowly come back to the center, release your strap. We're going to take a supported bridge pose instead of Shavasana, but if you prefer Shavasana or legs up the wall or anything like that, legs up the wall is a good way to end the hiking yoga class. So feel free to do that. Or if you want a supported bridge, it is kind of like a mild inversion, like legs up the wall. Take the block at the medium height or the lowest height, plant it underneath your bum. And you can leave your feet planted on the mat or extend your legs out. Your choice. Take your arms overhead, palms face up, allowing your shoulders to relax down. Close your eyes. Allow your hips to really sink into the block. So make sure again that here you're not squeezing your hips up. Like in bridge pose, I would ask you to squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up. Now you just want to allow those hips to sink into the block. Maybe there's a little bit of a stretch in your low back, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually going to strengthen your low back a little bit. If that bothers you, then take the block down a level or just put a blanket underneath your bum. Allowing your forehead to soften, your eyelids to soften, your jaw to soften down. Feeling the weight of your shoulders on the mat. The back of your skull making a deep indentation in the mat. The weight of your hips on your block. Notice how your legs feel now. We did a lot of leg work today. Noticing the cool breeze flow between your toes, letting everything relax, release down to the mat. Allowing gravity to take over here. And just enjoying your final resting pose, Shavasana. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth inside out. Starting to bring sensation to your body by wiggling your fingers and maybe rolling your ankles if you can. Now, gently bring your knees up, plant your feet down, and lift your hips up to remove the block. Roll over to your favorite side and push yourself up to a seat. Unmute yourself if you want to Om with me.